Hello, hello. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode here, Power Hour, with me, your host, Reese from House of Reps, and then Joe Fist over here from Wildcard Geckos. So, welcome back and joining us. Today, we got a great guest called Josiah from Leos Only, and we're going to hang out with him. So, gear up, get your beer popping, do whatever you got to do, join the show. Next 60 seconds, go ahead and hit that follow, subscribe, share to all your friends, get all these viewers come hang out with us too, and we will be back. All right, welcome back, everybody. Thanks for joining us. What's up, Joe? How you doing? What's up, Josiah? What's going on, guys?
Thank you.
Doing well, man. What are you up to, Reese?
Living the dream, dude. Pairing geckos and checking for eggs. So
How many you got?
I'm up to 12 pairings now. So yeah. What,
16,
21, dude?
16.
Oh,
Oh, 16. I was like, bro, I thought 10. Yeah,
yeah.
dude. I was like,
Like, how
10.
many is this many, dude?
You did whole hands, my
Nice.
man. Yeah, it was 10,
Right.
10. Thank you. Thank you, Josiah.
16. How about you, man? Have you started, Josiah?
What's up?
Have you started pairing yet this year?
I have one pairing. Yeah.
You have
Just one
one
so far. Nice.
Yeah. So normally I would start checking in January and start making pairings. But most of the stuff isn't going to be till like mid-February and March before they start ovulating. But I have one female. It's the only bell that I have. And she ovulates in January every year.
Nice. What
So
is she?
she's just a blood bell.
Oh,
Allegedly.
sick. Nice. I actually just paired up the mail I got from you, that Het
I wanted to
Cipher.
ask you about it.
Yeah, I just paired him up actually to a purple head Cipher cross. So interesting to see what the Firebolt
Was
purple
that
head
a
will do.
was that a full head?
No, she
Was it
you, the one from you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you verified it before I left, 100% het.
Okay.
And then the female, she's visual, so yeah.
Okay.
Should
I
have
wasn't sure. I couldn't remember exactly what you got from me.
Yeah, two Firebolts. One was a Het Cipher, one was just a Firebolt cross, no known het. And he's coloring up pretty well, actually. So
Good. I only have one cipher firebolt thing.
Yeah, I got a Firebolt head cipher from Josiah, and she's ready this year. Last year she was not, but this year she's ready to go. She is one of my pairings. She's already paired.
Good.
oh, nice. Look at that, dude. Got your bloodline going with us, all right?
Yeah. Let me know. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm more excited for what you guys are gonna do. I'm bored looking at my stuff already. So I need you guys to do something.
Oh, Lord, I feel you.
So collection wise, man, what are you up to right now? What do you got working in there?
So like I said earlier, I'm kind of doing things different. I wouldn't have made a pairing right now based on like the metrics I'm about to set for you, but I just know this one female specifically ovulates in January.
Okay.
But I am probably going to start doing pairings March 1st, and I'm probably only going to do pairings for 3 months. So March, April, and May, and when May's done, if you haven't ovulated, you're just not going to get paired.
Okay.
And then, I mean, if that affects like certain stuff, I need to figure out how to time stuff now versus just kind of just going with it. And I don't have the time to dedicate, especially if last year was tough for me. This year is going to be really tough. So,
okay.
So that's one thing I'm changing. I'm stopping certain projects like the Firebolt Albie stuff.
Yeah, I figured that one was gonna.
Yeah, I know. I knew it too. Doing it, it was fun. It was cool, like first little pairing, and there's some pictures of them.
Yeah.
But I will say that I'm taking some of those and just doing. They just won't have the Albie in it. So it'll be essentially like Extreme Bold and Firebolt stuff, which they look super cool.
Yeah, no, I have a Firebolt Extreme Bold Albie Snow Cross actually from Blizzard Bold, and she made some really nice, babies. But I was thinking about actually continuing that from the Firebolt one from you, the No Known Het one, to her actually, just to see what happens.
Cool.
So maybe I'll continue it since you're dropping it.
Thanks. But I will have Albie stuff. They'll just be Albie Bold stuff rather than introducing the yellow. It kind of gives it like that old school, like they used to call them creamsicles, like in the 2000s.
Mhm.
They were like Mac Tings or whatever. I was thinking, I did that. I just did it on a whim, the Albie Firebolt thing, and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. I could kind of have a creamsicle look thing to it, but I don't have the room. I just don't have the time, so I'm focusing down on stuff that I like really, really want to work with. So,
Dang, dude. So you're taking a huge step back this year, huh?
I'm still gonna have everything. I'm just not gonna.
Yeah. But just not be so gung ho. Like, are you going to be doing any expos this year at all?
Just Daytona right now, unless I hop on somebody else's ticket somewhere else.
Yeah, you heard that, Joe? What was that? I thought you farted, dude.
Yeah, no, that's probably you, but I don't know what that was. I did hear it.
Definitely wasn't in here.
It wasn't me either, dude. That was
happening here.
That
is sounded like water pouring, right?
What?
I thought it was like an air venting off.
Like yeah, me too.
That's what it sounded like too. Yeah. Reese's chair is about to break again, buddy. That's what's gonna happen, bro.
So funny you brought that up, dude. I actually got a new chair. My girl's birthday is coming up, so I got her a new chair for her, and I took her old chair. So now I got a better chair down here instead of a bucket.
That explains.
I was sitting on a bucket for some of the shows.
Nice. That explains some of the sciatica pain you're going through then, because it's the dang chair.
The dang chair.
Well, it's I don't know. With the lack of obviously you're not breeding as much this year. How's that going to impact your expos?
Not much.
Well, he's just doing Daytona.
I don't do enough expos to matter, and I wholesale most of my stuff anyways.
Well, speaking of expos, guess what's going on tomorrow?
Joe's first.
His first. Why don't you tell us about that, Joe? I'd really like to hear.
No, it's right here in Columbia, Missouri. I'm not going to have much with me. I don't really have a lot that I want to get rid of. Any animal that I got from Brett from Bayside, I'm getting rid of because
toss those out.
You don't keep those, right? Absolutely. But I mean, they look good online, then they get here, and you're like. But I'll bring those all with me. But other than that, like everything else is gold, man. So I want to keep it. But I think I have like maybe 20 animals, and then I got 2 tables because they were only $65, and they were 6-footers. Yeah, so I got a 12-foot section just so I can like have some space between me and
just whoever. Hang out and talk shit.
I worry about bringing like crypto home and stuff like that. So I just want it spaced out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I got my back wall banner, and I'm considering not taking it because it's a smaller venue for Show Me. And then I messaged Brett earlier, but his phone's broken lately, so I'm like, hey man, because he's got a similar banner, and I'm like, how do you put this up by yourself and not get it dirty? I don't want to get it's so nice. I don't want to get it dirty, right? So anyway, yeah, I'm vending tomorrow. There's some people that hit me up on Instagram that seemed pretty cool, and they're going to be there. And I know Krista, who I haven't met yet, but she lives here in town. She's going to be there, and some other people. There are other guys that are going to be there. They're called Central Missouri Reptile Enthusiasts, and they do an acronym with like an abbreviation. So it's like Central C and then MO for Missouri. R and E, so see more reptiles. It's pretty clever.
Right.
But they'll be there. And then Reese promised he was going to drive up and be there, but
I said I'll think about it.
At his house.
He's still thinking. He's thinking real hard.
Well, I kind of almost sold out at the last expo, so I kind of don't have anything to sell. So
that's good.
Probably got like 15 geckos, 10 geckos maybe.
Right.
So
for the people that are, going to be coming in here soon, I've had a couple of encounters with understanding how heterozygous genes work, what an allele is, things like that. I wanted to kind of like go through that with you guys real quick, have a little bit of a back and forth. Riys, you know what I'm talking about, right? We've talked about it the other day, 66% het and like
just how people get the percentages and
right,
what's an easy way to figure it out.
Right. So I wanted to go in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the part of the guy that does not know what he's talking about, and I'm going to ask the dumb questions, so you guys have to answer them and train some people.
Asking the wrong dude, because I'm gonna just be like, I don't know.
Question number 1 for Josiah. When my gecko, obviously, if you pair a het to a het, right, and you get a 66% het for albino, that definitely means that the gecko is only 66% albino. Is that right?
Never.
Yeah, no, it's not right.
What? It's not only 66%, dude?
Yeah, it's so go into that for the people who need it. Let's see. An allele is one or two or more alternative forms of a gene that arise by mutation and are found at the same place on a chromosome. Mutation, recessive mutation, you need a copy, one from each parent, in order to create a visual. So I just wanted to go in with that. And then the misconception about 66% of an albino, and I'm like, that's not how that works. So with the best of your ability, Josiah, tell us what 66%.
That's my ability. See, normally I'd pull up like a Punnett square or something like that, because it's the absolute easiest way to visualize it. But it just represents a statistic of probability of them carrying a single copy of that gene.
Yep, and that's 100% accurate. It's not 100% het though. So I always tell people the lights are either on or they're off, right? You got the lights on, you got the lights off. You it's a yes or it's a no. The animal is het or it's not het.
Yeah. And which is why, like, when you I don't mind seeing it. Like, I don't dog anybody for doing it, but like when you see people put down like 33% het, they are just representing an animal that was possible het from a previous pairing, and trying to make trying to figure out, determine the chance that would possibly carry a gene from a pairing of like unknown genes.
Right.
But it's too confusing. Like, we should probably just stick to 66 and 50, which just represents the pairing that animal came from, and then just list everything else as possible het after that. So if you end up buying something that's 66% het and you pair it to something that's not het for that particular gene, just list the babies as possible het to avoid confusion. So,
Yep.
That was perfect, dude. Perfect explanation.
Now, I brought this up real quick, and I'm going to throw it in here. For a visual representation of 66% het. Now, I really wish down here where it says normal that it was not blue.
That it was not blue.
Yeah, not blue, and I wish this one up here was like a light blue.
But I think it represents the phenotype well, though, because all three of those are going to look the same. So that's why it's
blue. There you go.
Because it's not, you can't differentiate between the three animals.
Yes, and people ask, like, why is it not 75%, right? I've had that question a couple of times. That question, I can completely understand how it can, be misconstrued.
Yeah.
So the reason for that, you were like that, Riys?
Yeah, I just didn't understand the 66. I was like, how did you get 66, not 65 or 62? Yeah. I was like, where did you get 66 from? So that was confusing me in the beginning, but yeah.
So like he was saying, you got two different ways that this is 66% technically, but if you're going to go with the albino, we'll just worry about that. Each one of these squares that says albino, that's how many opportunities you have to have a het gene in that animal. And potentially you even have one that's going to be visual, right? So the 66% comes from this down here being normal. You have that 100% probability of it being normal, so you remove it and you do your division. I think it's 2 divided by 3. Is that correct, Josiah?
I'm sorry. I was thinking about what I wanted to say next.
Yeah, no. So let me grab a calculator here. 2 divided by 3
Sorry,
is 66.
I didn't hear you.
Yeah, so you take these 2 here and you divide it by the whole number, which is 3, because this number here doesn't count. If you can see my cursor, bottom left square doesn't count. 2 divided by 3 is 66. And then
so basically you remove a percentage, and that's
you're going to take out the 4th block, and you're not going to divide by 4 or into 4.
Gotcha.
Because 1 square doesn't apply at all with the Punnett square, which is probably
you guys are actually saying something that I never fully occurred to me. But this picture here represents what could be inside of an egg.
Yep.
So when you do this het-to-het pairing in this example, you have a 25% chance of hitting albinism. You have a 25%. You have a 50% chance at receiving a single copy.
Yep.
Of the albinism, and then you have a 25% chance of receiving no copies of albinism at all. So when you do those pairings, the chances of you hitting an albino are 25%, and the other 75% is because now once an egg is hatched and it's albino, we no longer need to worry about those other 3 possible pairings. We know it's an albino, carries 2 copies of albinism.
Yeah.
Awesome. So what happens now is the egg hatches, and now we see a normal baby inside of our incubator. And now you use the leftover of the fraction to determine the percentage chance that individual animal would have. So if you see, once you've identified it as a normal inside the incubator, now you know that it's 66% chance that it would contain one of those.
And all the blue squares are going to be visually normal or visually the morph, right? So that being said, you are going to divide 2 by 3 because one of those is not albinism at all. So you would take 2 divided by the 3 blue squares, and because you have 2 chances or 50% chances. Basically, that's how you get to the 66%. All 3 of these animals are going to look identical, like you said a minute ago. And so you really only remove, you can choose to do it where you remove the albino square or you remove the normal square. But for the sake of, understanding it better, I'd say work with the blue. One of them says normal anyways. That's not going to have any chance of being albino. But it also speaks to proving. If you think about it, you have a very low possibility of this pairing het-to-het not having any albinism in it,
So look, if everything was perfect, 75% of the animals would be normal. So.
Yeah.
And if you're doing first year pairings of stuff, and you can apply this to anybody that's testing hets. I know somebody's alluding to that, and I'll read it in a second. But
I'm gonna bring it up in a second.
Yeah. Forgive me.
You're forgiven.
Well, thank you. Let's distract me even further because I'm so good at staying on point.
Yeah.
I already forgot. We could just address that, guys.
All right. Well, Peter said, if you're working on getting a het out, would it be a good idea to use the lower percent to show how you're working your way down till proving it het free?
I mean, if you got the time with as many animals as you have, I'd say yes. But when that 12.5% animal pops out for albino, I feel like for me, it's like, damn, all these years, and I just want to.
I feel like he's kind of taking the shotgun approach to eliminating the gene. So where you would take something that's we could even just start with whatever. You got a 66% het animal. You're not going to test it for albinism. You don't want it in there anymore. So you would just breed it for 4 generations to normal and just keep picking babies from those new generations. But at some point, you're going to have to test those animals. But yeah, hypothetically speaking, I guess
that's kind of exactly what I'm
on that. But statistically, you might you'd have a greater chance of that animal 4 generations later not carrying it in comparison to the founding animal. But anyways, the point is, if you're trying to get rid of a gene, you need to figure out how to discover it first. If you're coming from the standpoint of something as possible het and you want to breed it out of it, you need to figure out if it's in there first. So if you bought this animal and it's 66% het Tremper albino, go breed it to a Tremper and start there. I think anybody that does this for any length of time comes to realize that removing genes is not fun. And you end up just avoiding it. So like in my particular case, I had albinos in tangerines and I wanted het-free tangerines. And 3 years later, all I have are Tremper albinos because I just converted everything into a Tremper. So I don't even have those animals. All those animals are now starting this year, actually, I will no longer be using them.
That actually leads to a couple of things too. For me, know who you're buying from. Don't just willy-nilly buy from random people. If somebody tells you that it's het-free and it throws a het, talk about it. Let people know that you were misled. Let them know whether or not you thought it was intentional. Not everybody does things.
Yeah, I would preface this and say, like, for example, if you bought an animal from me and you popped something out, I would greatly appreciate if you came to me first because, that's obviously not the standard I'm trying to set.
After I go to Reddit, I'm
I will, in my case, I will do what I need to do. What is
after I go to Reddit, I'll go to you right after.
That was awesome, Reese.
But actually, I wanted to say that's kind of what I started this year. I mean, I haven't fully, or that was last year. So this year, I will be working on it again. But that's what I'm doing with the glacier stuff is trying to take all the non-rainwater stuff and then keep pairing those back together. And then all the non-rainwater stuff again, keep pairing those back together. And then eventually test it back to the grandfather later on.
I mean, as long as you know your approach and you're
pretty much. Because I started with a visual.
You just need
it's 100% het from there. So I'm breaking from 100% all the way down. Yeah. So it is going to take some time, but I'm working on. But I am going to have a rainwater version anyway because it's obviously going to happen regardless.
I bet you'll just end up doing all rainwater.
Right? I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to give up.
All right. I gave up.
And for the people,
year one, I was like, I guess I'm working with Trempers now.
For the people that are trying to prove out their genes. Yeah. And they want to know whether or not it has that specific, het in it. They should know that you don't want to pair the animal that you're trying to prove to a het animal. You want to pair it to a visual animal. Or, I mean, you could pair it to one that's het if you are aware that it's het, but if you pair it to a visual, your chances they go up. So
way up.
Way up. So I would say make sure, one of the best ones for that to own in your collection, female wise, is embers. If you can get your hand on some good old fashioned embers and keep them in your collection, I would
plug in your boy, huh?
Highly recommend that.
If you don't know where to get embers, go down to Bayside and holler at your boy.
Who's that?
Oh, dang.
Is that Bell Eclipse?
Ember, let's pull it up, buddy.
I think it's like Murphy's Patternless, Eclipse, Max Snow.
I always tell everybody know how to do this. So if you go here on the page, you see where it says traits, combos, projects. If you go to combos, boom. What did I call it a minute ago? An ember? Yeah. So it's Murphy's Patternless, Eclipse, and Tremper albino. So at least you got 3 in 1 there. Yeah, you can also do a cyclone, which is a rainwater ember, is what I call it.
Okay.
And there's one for Bell. Where the hell?
It's always good to have a raptor and a radar as well. So.
Yeah.
Well, an ember is a raptor.
Yeah, I think it's like, I don't do this, so full warning. But in my ideal world, I would have Bell Eclipse, Tremper Eclipse, Rainwater Eclipse.
Yeah.
By far, what you're going to discover, if you're going to discover anything, is going to be one of those.
Yeah.
The Murphy's Pattern, if you have it, obviously test it. But I think that's pretty low chance that you'll see. Like,
I got nothing Murphy's patternless in my collection. I got rid of anything that was close to that. I was like, nope.
Yeah,
it's there. It's still there. I guarantee it. It's all there, buddy.
Nah, I didn't breed those animals. What I'm saying, I got rid of. I had one. She was a platinum Murphy's patternless. She was beautiful, but
they
I got
sneak
rid of
out
her.
at night and do stuff. I'm telling you.
Yep. There is the Cyclone, the Ember, and then there's the Bell version. And somebody a long time ago, if I remember correctly, they tried naming it a Predator, but I could have that wrong. So if I do have it wrong, somebody reach out and let me know. But I think they called it a Predator and it didn't take. But that's the Bell version, if I'm not mistaken.
Somebody just called me a white whale, dude. I don't know if I should feel offended. I'm just kidding, dude.
It's Peter.
He did bring up something. He said Bell Murphy's patternless.
Yeah, Bell's Murphy's patternless.
And I know for a long time, Bell Murphy patternless was like impossible.
Really? Why?
I have no idea.
No idea. Yeah. Well, we gotta find out.
Do it, so I don't know.
Yeah, with Eclipse in it.
Yeah, but suddenly with Eclipse in it, it works.
Yeah, Peter said it's called a Predator, so he's aware of it too.
Who's called a Predator?
So wait, no, Ember is Trumper, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the Trumper.
Sorry, I made a mistake. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
So
were you crossing out?
It still is a problem then. So the Bell Murphy's patternless, right? It's still,
with the Eclipse, visual. So those animals, in my opinion, are the best for proving, just because.
I understood what I was saying.
No, he's saying it is hard to hit. So apparently, something about Bell and Murphy's patternless isn't lining up correctly.
Exactly.
It's harder. It's a little harder for them to hit. It is possible, but it's a 66%, chance of maybe hitting it. So
it doesn't seem to be that good either.
I was trying to make a joke, dude. My bad. 2% chance of hitting it.
There are a few running around though, right?
I guess.
I think Matt said he's produced one like years ago.
What hasn't he produced, man?
I don't know.
He would be doing everything.
I could be wrong. We talk a lot, so I don't remember.
Yeah.
He tell me other people's stories, and I'm thinking it's him too. So I don't know.
I'd believe that because he produced a lot of the world's firsts. Like a lot of them. He was just crossing back in the day. I remember that. So
was he listening to Crisscross while he did it?
Makes you want to jump
tubs.
Yeah, there you go. So yeah, but in my opinion, you should have animals to prove, and it's going to be hard to do that. He said, let's see, Peter says, aside from Matt Gary, I don't know who that is. Who does? Who knows who that is? Anybody?
Mm-hmm.
Nope.
I don't know who that is.
He said he did, but had no photos. He don't got the cheddar. I don't care.
Can't prove it, dude. It didn't happen.
Sorry, Matt. Love you. Whoever Matt Gary is. I'm sure we'd have a good time. I don't believe you.
You're not buying what you're selling, dude.
So,
speaking of, how do you feel about that, dude, in the market lately of like people devaluing projects that weren't necessarily theirs, that they started or anything?
I mean,
they
it's
just
the market.
grabbed them and
from my own standpoint, I wouldn't do like nothing crazy. I think, are you like saying buying expensive projects and then selling the rest off for nothing?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Just devaluing the projects.
Yeah, I've never done that. I wouldn't be the type of guy to do that. But I mean, that's the risk of dealing with the open market. You put a product out there that people can utilize, and they do something with it. Sorry.
Yeah, I honestly take notes. I'll be honest with you. I put things aside, and I pay attention because like, let's say you got this, these people that consider themselves way up here or whatever, and then they're the ones that also buy your animals, and then the following year or the year after, they devalue them so much that they, you might as well.
Yeah, I know. Well,
not do all that work. I can't wait for
if you know somebody that does that and they try to buy from you and you sell it, I mean, you're just doing it too.
Yeah, it's going to go to somebody. But yeah. I normally, honestly, like personally, almost vengefully, can't wait for them to one day come out with something so I can do it. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, I'm going to put the $2,000. I'm going to make the money back real quick, and then I'm going to sell all your animals for $50.
$2,000 each. I'm ready to be devalued.
Yeah, right. Like,
Give me a call.
did you just shit on something I invested in? Like, I can't wait. I hope you're around long enough to come up with something. And it's shitty to go behind the scenes like that, but I pay attention, and I'm like, They come through and they're like, "Oh, I got this new morph." I'm like, "Sweet, let's make it worth nothing." Let's do what you do. And I don't really do it, but I think about it all the time. I'm just like, God, come out with something, But I don't know. It's kind of a negative thing for a lot of people to come out and to spend time and to have the know-how on how to like discover a gene and realize what they're working with, right? And then to throw it out for all of us to work with finally, and then we just take it in, and because we have no grasp on our breeding and how many animals we're putting out there and how many we're making, when we can and can't do shows, or we don't stick to our schedules that we give, we're like, okay, I have all these extra animals, they got to go now. So you throw it up there and somebody's going to buy it for the $20 or the $50. And it's like,
yeah, I mean, if you're going to start selling stuff for $20 to $50 or like, and we'll just say under $50, just try to find some like good pet stores and people that, you can sell off 10 animals here and there too. That's basically all I do.
Okay.
Like, I just find somebody that needs, 5 animals, 10 animals.
Yeah.
And
I do that with like the stuff I know is just ugly. Like, I don't even want to sell it. So I'm just like, whatever, give me what you want for it.
Yeah.
And then, put it in the pet stores. But to touch on that though, a lot of people, or not a lot of people, I do know some breeders that, don't release it for that exact reason. So they might release one gecko for the whole year, or like for 2 years on that project, but keep all the animals back. So it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, you have to understand. Like, all we can do is like preach good behavior in the community.
Yeah, right.
So that's what the purpose of these are.
Community ethics.
Yeah, and then people that like want to participate in the community ethics get to
you get to devalue the gecko
and get into it, and that's just how it works. But at the end of the day, like, that's probably never going to stop. People are going to always do that. So like, I'd be somebody that would try to protect my animals. Like, I've never let anybody, and there's nothing super, super nice that's like gone from the collection. Like, anything top tier is like, I'm not selling it. That's basically it. You can kind of protect yourself a little bit, but eventually you're going to have to get rid of animals and sell them, and people are going to breed them. And
they're going
to sell them for less. What's that?
You just wholesale them, dude. So that way nobody knows the project.
Nobody knows where they go, what they are.
Then you just get rid of it that way. You know what I mean?
I don't label nothing when you buy animals.
Oh, yeah. Wholesale, it's leopard gecko. And at most, I'll put tangerine or like a snow or albino. But that's about it. That's all they're getting. Because they don't care anyway, dude. I was so proud my first couple times. And then I go back in the store to like look. And I'm like, where's all that information I gave you? And they're like, yeah, we don't care. It's a leopard gecko, right? And I'm like, okay, all right.
I don't get no information unless it's asked. Then I'll provide some, but I'm like, I'm not really going to provide genetic stuff. Like, I had a whole bunch of like mixed het cipher stuff that I let go of for cheap. And
I know.
And but yours was more of a known one though, and I was taking care of you. All right.
You did that. You did that. You did that. Oh.
I took care of him. What?
No. It went to a good place. It went to a good place.
You just ask, I'll probably take care of you.
Yeah. No, and honestly, an expo is a really good place to offload those animals as pets instead of if you need to get rid of them, an expo is a really good spot to do it. And if you're selling them at those prices, even if you're talking to a breeder, don't offer the information. It's not worth it. They're not paying for it.
No,
part of what we do is all this work. But
the year before was yours a 2023?
Yeah, when I went to
yours was my animal that I sold you.
Oh, yeah.
What about you, Riys? Is the one that you?
Mine's 2024.
It was a 24. Okay.
Yeah.
So my 2023. Okay. So I was just trying to get my timeline. My 2023 stuff. That was all the crazy mixed het, 66% this, and I just refused to like give a labeling on any of that.
Yeah, May 7th, 2023.
Okay.
Her name is Cream Cheese.
Cream Cheese.
All right, dude.
Yeah, brother. So, yep, you are right. 23.
George,
ready to go this year, man.
Good.
Excited about it.
So, are you downsizing quite a bit, dude? Since you're chilling, or are you just gonna hold on to what you got?
I'm buying more racks, so no.
Oh, you are. So you're just chilling until you can get into a better place to
Yeah, well,
do
like
more?
for example, okay, so this kind of brings us back to where we started all this. So I'm going to have the shorter breeding season. I'm specifically targeting like a window of time that I'm going to do pairings. So that means when eggs are done, the eggs are done for a while. Like there's not going to be some weird August pairing that I do out of nowhere, and then I have stuff being laid in December.
Say that now.
I'm done with that. I'm keeping. I'm gonna refrain from breeding anything I produced last year. So all of my 2024 stuff is just gonna grow out. I'm going to repair almost everything that I purchased in the 2019 to like 2021 period. Those are all going to get rebred for the last time this year.
Okay.
And then everything that I produced that's not a 2024, I'm thinning that out and I'm rebreeding a lot of those. But I think I'm going to start going into like, I'm because like, you know, you have something in early 24, you could easily breed it in 25. I think I want to pull more seasons out of animals, like early rather than using the new stock. Just let them grow out for a bit.
Yeah.
Animals now to select from, and like the stuff that produced all that is not bad looking. I have obviously some nicer stuff, but I just kind of want to like pull some more genetics out of the stuff that I had originally purchased. It's all the foundation genetics. So I just want to pull some more animals out of them and then focus in on what I did produce and maybe just some pairings. You know, if anything was particularly nice, you know, they might get repaired, or if something just came out like sometimes you have certain fireballs you pair for whatever reason. Like I'm just using them as an example, but you pair them together and you're just not super thrilled with how they look, but like individually they look good. So maybe just another pairing would be good for them. So at some point I just gotta, I'm not going to have space to do what I just told you there and breed 2024 animals when they can easily wait a year. It's not going to be a big deal.
No, not at all. I love to grow mine out to 2 years before I try pairing them anyways.
Yeah.
Anytime I've done it otherwise, some of them do well, and then you kind of are taught, you know, hey, stop doing that.
Yeah, like if you're going to have an animal that's going to struggle, it's going to be the younger breeder. And I don't know. I guess maybe a few years ago I was just more anxious to get stuff done, and I was higher risk taking. I'm just not doing that. And like I said, because I don't plan on spending as much time in the room as I've done in previous years, there's no need to
go crazy.
Start working with animals you've never worked. They're first time breeders. Like you don't know how they're gonna handle it versus an animal that's done 6 seasons for me and there's no problem. You know that animal. You know they're gonna be good. So I guess it's just learning the collection after 5 or 6 years now.
So it seems like you pretty much have like an overall year, like plan for your year. But what about specific projects within that plan? Is there any specific projects, or is it just everything, or like what is your actual?
No, I'm definitely stopping stuff, and then I'm not going to get rid of it necessarily. I'm just not going to do it this year. I might do year type stuff, but Firebolt stuff, anything Firebolt related is going to get rid of. So Firebolt process.
They're continuing Firebolt for sure.
Yeah, 100%.
Speaking of
anything related to them too.
Where are those two from the show? How are they looking now?
Which ones did I bring? I don't remember. I probably those two that I brought to the show. I probably have a dozen that look like that. Yeah, the ones that those two that were up there. They weren't for sale, correct? But if somebody offered me money for them, and it was enough.
I feel you. But how do they look now? Like they looked really good then, but
I have a good 12 to 15 that are amazing.
I want to see them more, dude.
Yeah.
Restore my faith in Firebolt.
I hate taking pictures again.
What?
So you just said restore your faith in Firebolt?
Yeah, because I never liked it. It doesn't keep any bold, dude. It just colors out, fades away, and then the ones you had were really good examples, so I liked it a little bit more.
Okay,
most of the time it's hard. It's barely any bold.
because I actually have. I'm not going to say who it was from, where I got it from, but I have a firebolt that's not. It's obviously related to my firebolt at one point or another. But it's pretty. It was distant. It's distant firebolt in comparison.
Okay.
So another. You take. I gave you 2 firebolts. I take 2 firebolts. Those are the only 2, and we bred them for the next 6 years. We're gonna have different looking ones, regardless of.
No, for sure.
So that's how I'll describe it. So yes, it is a firebolt, but it's my least favorite firebolt that I have. But it has all the things you would think you would want in it, like long stripes that go all the way down. But it's much muddier. It was much muddier looking than the ones I have. That said, I'm now having some older firebolts from when I bought them, and they are getting discolored now, like the stuff that's 4 and 5 years old. And it's just a little bit unavoidable completely with the leopard geckos. You're just not going to avoid it.
Well, not just the color. I mean the bold period. Like it's fire bold, and then the black is gone. It's just like hypos out.
Okay, I see what you're saying. So, I have ones that I selected for that. That's actually an example of firebolts that I'm not going to do anymore. Is anything that doesn't have the bold stuff. Like I was trying to do a firebolt without it, and I'm like, I hate these. Like, I don't even want to look at them. Why am I doing this? So all that stuff's gonna go. So I'm gonna stick to the stripe stuff. But if you looked at like my firebolts, they're not really big, bold stripes. They're much more like a pinstripe in nature. Can you pull up the Instagram real quick?
Yes, I can, man.
Pull it up, dude.
Doing it. Where am I? This is a nice setup, bro. Mine doesn't look like this.
Yeah, his looks nice, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, it's cute, isn't it?
I like it. So what am I looking for, bro?
I gotta see the pictures. Just scroll up and then just slowly scroll down so I can see.
Yeah.
Slowly.
All right, stop real quick. So the center top one.
Okay.
Like obviously that's about as good as they're gonna look. I mean, it's in its teenage years. It's absolutely you're just. And
Peter.
And
he called Booba David. Okay.
So, like that's absolutely like peak for like a firebolt. But those stripes, like you can see the very top ones that go down the spine. It's they're just thinner. And then if you scroll down some more,
but it's still there though.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Good, yeah. Because I remember J&G was coming over to check them out. You know, I caught that on camera, and you were like, "What's up, dude? Look at my firebolts."
They were too dark.
That one's solid.
That's too young to really like.
No, look at that tail, bro. That's insane.
The tails are super good. Yeah.
Yeah. Where else am I going, man?
I'm trying to see it.
Yep. So we got left, middle, right, and then tell me where I'm at.
Yeah, I'm looking.
Look at this jungle.
I know the animal that I'm looking for. That's the Albie extreme bold firebolt.
Yeah, the yellow out really.
That's what you'd expect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they came out nice though.
I feel like it's got to be higher up. You can keep scrolling down though. That's actually it's unrelated, but that animal's top center again. That albino. Yeah, that's going to be my main male for my high contrast hunter stuff.
Okay.
That animal's gone.
That animal's gone.
It didn't breed. I think I've told it on here before, but yeah, go all the way up. I missed it.
Okay. Boom.
All right. I know it's in here. I just literally had somebody on Instagram forward me the picture asking, okay, that firebolt you're hovering right now, that's an example of like I have ones that are adults that are like that.
This one?
No, that one. Yeah. Yeah. So you
see, look at that tail, bro.
You're not bold. You're right. You're right. It's not like big, bold black marks, but like that is, I love that.
No, that one is nice. Yeah. To me, it's just more selective. It's like some things you can reproduce a lot of it and see it, but with firebolt, it's like it's not getting hit really, really nice all the time. You know, it's like a select few that come out really nice.
Yeah.
Well,
I would describe almost anything like that myself. I mean, and maybe you're having a different experience, but like,
no, true.
I feel like, you know, which as it should be, like maybe 10% of them are the ones that like
Mm-hmm.
you would feel like you could do that would move the project forward. To say.
Yeah.
There was another animal on there I wanted to show you.
All right.
Because it represents more bold in the striping. I'm looking on my phone right now, seeing.
Copy that. I'm on your page, so. Oh, I'm here.
I just had somebody forward me this photo.
No, I don't believe you, dude.
I know.
Yeah. You're not selling Riys a lot right now. That's for sure.
It's all right.
He actually sold 2 firebolts to me.
It's nice, so settle down.
Oh yeah, you bought a couple of them?
Yeah, we talked about that earlier from Daytona.
Dude, this is gonna drive me crazy, man.
That's all right.
I'm gonna give up in 2 seconds.
And didn't find it fast enough.
For me, Firebolt is one of the most amazing.
Peter, dog. We don't call David anymore, man. His new name is Booba.
Booba. Yeah, that was I don't think we ever called him David.
You did.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's not the name. I don't know.
I call him Bubba, and you'd be like, "You mean David?" I'm like, "Yes, I mean David."
It's Davido.
Hey, how about I just grab the animal?
Yeah, do that, dude.
Do that. All right. Keep them occupied. They get ornery in the chat.
All right, so it ain't just me roasting. You know, Booba got some good ones in here. The fire thins instead of Firebolt, fire thin.
Fire thins.
Yeah.
That way Riys can love them again. You know. How many of y'all ever go here?
I don't know. Firebolt with extreme bold definitely holds a lot more better.
If you go to John's page ever and you come down to where it says genetics and then scroll, like I've spent a lot of time here.
Yeah.
A lot of people have, I know. I think I've not slept because I couldn't get off this page before. But you can look for, different projects and lines till you find Firebolt. And I believe on Firebolt, you can click on it right there.
I got two like this, and I couldn't even find the good one. So, yeah. But this one's still pretty cool too, though.
Go ahead, spin. Nice.
I like the colors and stuff.
I like that. Right.
The bold on it is so cool, dude.
Nice, dude. You need to show Infamous how it's done, man.
I know, man. He needs to get in on that game right there. His photos are all right, but that's a cool ass animal.
Nah, it's sick, dude.
I have one better than this one too, man. But this is an extreme bold Firebolt.
Yeah, I'm gonna actually
said that. I think Firebolt and Extreme Bold cross keeps it a lot more.
It's so good. Yeah. Firebolt Extreme Bold's good. My Tang Bold Bandits Firebolt stuff's pretty cool too. But the Extreme Bold Firebolt's definitely.
So real quick, I'm gonna read what Firebolt is to everybody, and then let's see if we can discuss maybe why the bolds kind of go out. So Firebolts are a very special line-bred tangerine bold, originally created by Italian breeder Carlo Maia. The original male to start the project was an electric bandit cross, produced by Monsoon Reptiles. Carlo then bred him into Afghan tangerine, red stripe, hyperexanthic, and various tangerines. In 2013, John took on the project and mixed them to his best tangerine bolds, which consist of Gecko Genetics and Bandit lines. For those who don't know, Gecko Genetics and Mandarin are synonymous. Since then, I have been line breeding them to what they are today. So that kind of gives you an idea of what exactly Firebolt is. This one right here blows me away.
Yeah, that's cool.
Right down there. And while you guys talk about Firebolt, I'm going to go grab one to show as well because
this is one of the Albi Extreme Bold Firebolt crosses, and it just holds a lot of bold on it.
That's good.
Yeah. Ugh. Put him away now.
I will say, for like full clarity, like my Firebolts are only 4 generations removed from Chris's collection. So
Nah, that's why I got that one from you. You said the parents were from Urban.
Yeah, okay, there you go.
So I had great lineage. So I was like, all right, I can't pass this up.
Yeah.
And he's doing nice. I haven't paired him though. He is a lot nicer than the Het Cypher one, but I just haven't found anything yet.
Yeah.
Look at the head pattern on that guy. You can get it.
Little face.
Oh.
Unibrow.
Yep. Yeah, unibrow. Yeah, it's like kind of like a pumpkin looking thing.
Yep. This guy is like one of my favorite animals I've produced this year. He's got more of a banded tail scatter pattern, but that's what I call jungle scatter pattern half the time. But hey, buddy, how you doing?
Joe just wanted to show geckos off like us.
Ooh, man, I feel like we don't do that enough over here.
He's like, they're doing it. Let me do it.
Yeah, zoom in over here. Stay put, dude. Stay put.
I wish I could have walked out here with like a bright green one, and then just like shut the camera off. Didn't answer my phone.
Just spray paint one like purple or something.
Yeah, never lucky. That'd be my dream, is to pop some sort of like.
So, what about cipher stuff, dude? Are you giving up on cipher stuff?
No.
So what about it? Are you like sticking to it for like, like what keeps you going with it?
Right now, there's not really a huge direction on it because like I just produced the first male cipher with like color in it because it was a firebulb to like base cipher and then those babies back to each other.
Okay.
And I produced one. So I did. I think I used 4 male Het Cipher firebulb crosses and 6 females last year.
Nice.
So you had a large group.
I produced a lot of them. I probably, out of the 6, I probably had something like 50 babies out of them. And I hit one. Oh, excuse me. I'm speaking of the wrong one. It was a double. It was a. I'm sorry.
It's okay. You're forgiven.
Oh man, I have like 4 cipher things going on. So I have the first cipher from Firebulb like crosses. I have one. And I was the only one that hit cipher out of my heads. So I had a lot of them. This is where I confuse myself. I produced a lot of non-heads because like I didn't know which animals were head or not because I was doing all those together.
So your cipher group was mostly hets. Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely, yeah. Because I only had 1 female cipher to work with.
Okay, I did the opposite. I had 1 male and like 3-4 visual females, and I produced a lot of just basic ciphers. But I needed those to for this year to now take into the tangerines and stuff and add some color to it. But I also ended up taking in a collection of ciphers from someone else who already started doing that work. So now I can continue it this year and make some really nice crosses. So
yeah, I probably have like let's see, 8. I think 10 ciphers visuals.
I'm close to that.
But like most of them are hideous. Like they're just first generation crosses of all sorts.
Yeah, any of them that didn't keep the pattern, I sold.
Well, because I just wanted to get the cipher into stuff mostly, so exactly. I was just breeding it into other stuff, and a lot of that stuff's going to end up coming back together. So it's like all various stripe projects are all kind of going into one. So like right now, I have a visual cipher from Firebolt stuff. Doesn't really have a good stripe. It actually, has no stripe on its spine at all. But I'm going to use that to breed into like all sorts of stuff. Like it's going to go into Tremper Firebolt stuff. It's going to go into Extreme Bold. It's going to go into Halloween masks. So I'm just going to, because now that I have like some sort of like foundation animal with something in it, I can put it into other stuff. Yeah, so I'm not like sitting here being like, oh, I'm going to breed it to Extreme Bolds and then just select from those and just keep doing Extreme Bold cipher back and forth. Like I'm utilizing what I have and producing it. And then once I produce some ciphers from something that's more organized, then I can start refining from there. But right now, I'm just trying to get the gene into other things, and I prefer to use something like an already crossed firebolt cipher into anything else rather than just like base cipher. So that's how I'm approaching that. So I'm going to do stuff with it. I don't know if I'll have visual ciphers that I'll produce this year. I very well might just use the one male that I produced and the one firebolt cross male, and just use those two and just breed it into my line bred stuff and then stake it from there. I guess I do have het cipher, het trempers.
Okay, yeah, I got a couple of Tremper ciphers. I produced 3 last season.
Yeah, I'm gonna breed those together, and well, the odds are low. Was it 1 in 32 for a double het?
I hit 2. I hit 2 Tremper ciphers in one clutch.
We'll play lottery or something.
Yeah, I know how Punnett squares work, but I feel
so that's pretty good.
That's what everybody said. I had 1, and then the second clutch was hets, right? 2 of them. Yeah, it was.
Was it 1 in 16? It's 1 in 16. Yeah, 1 in 16 for double hets, 1 in 32 for triples.
I feel like I hit anytime I pair them. I don't know what it is about it, but there's always one. Like I get less that are not double visual than I get, like the Punnett square never works out. It's always the result you will. I always get it. I don't know why. I hit every time. But
we'll hook you up, dude. We'll hook you up.
About.
Yeah, he's a complainer, dude.
No,
but I was gonna say, do you guys noticed with some cipher babies when they hatch and it has like a little bit of pattern on it, when they grow up, a lot of pattern comes in, and then some that have like a good pattern stripe on it when it's hatched, it kind of is patternless by the time it's older. Have you guys noticed that with some?
I'm gonna say yes. I think I mostly agree with what your statements were. Yeah,
I've noticed that there are some het animals that I feel like I can identify for what they are.
Yeah, he thinks he can see het ciphers, dude.
I know he does.
Yeah, I've talked about it before. They have a.
I know he has, and I understand his reasoning behind it, but I think it's like he needs to stop talking about it.
No, I don't think so, man. I think there's something.
You do, man. Because all you're seeing is like the strong phenotype background from.
What I'm saying is like you can't do it, but like I have that gift. So look, they're very robust, right? They're typically like I've never had one that's not banded.
Yeah.
And then they have this like shine to them. They're huge, right? They grow up real big. They've got like a shine to them. And then I got one from you, and it had the same shine when it showed up, and I'm like, all right,
it's got a sheen.
Booba outdid you, bro.
It's that I can tell.
That's a superpower, Bubba.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get like you more.
The eggs. I wish I could, but I can't see through the eggs.
So what are the indicators that you see, Joe? What is it that you're seeing that we don't with those
fairy dust
eyes?
I actually just already talked about it, but you were somewhere else. So
no, you said they're robust, shiny.
They're robust and they're shiny.
Robust and shiny, dude. That's like
catching I'm here for it. I think it's good. I'm sold.
The iridophores from iridophores stick around longer. You know what I mean? You get it?
Tell
me on that.
I hear you. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So
there's a lot of stuff that kind of does stuff like that. It's not reliable markers for me. I think
no, it's not.
Is it like blizzards do that too? Don't they?
Actually, I just heard something interesting about het blizzards. Me and my boy Peter were talking, and he said he could spot het blizzards because they're more speckly.
Yeah, that's what I was just saying. Yeah. I'm pretty sure
that's kind of cool.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that one was kind of known for a while. Like I said, I wouldn't use it as a.
Yeah.
If it was
if you're not capable of doing it, I get it. I mean, not all of us can do it.
Not about capability. It's about repercussions.
I'd be like, look for anything else that's banded and it has that sheen on it. It's not there. It's just not there. So if you see one with a sheen on it, you heard it here first. It's definitely a cipher.
I hear you.
There's Peter. See?
Do not take that literal. He said, hey, het blizzards.
It does the same thing when I type it out.
Hey.
Hey.
Are more speckled. So.
Correction.
But
what other recessives do you think have indicators? Doesn't Eclipse have some? I've heard about it a bunch of times. Huh? Just
Allegedly,
eclipse?
I've heard about
Oh,
eclipse
allegedly?
indicators as well.
Yeah.
But
I heard of it, but I never really paid attention because I'm like, either it is or it isn't. Just like we talked about the percentages, it either is or it isn't.
speculating sounds like speculation, and that's enough for me
Yeah.
to move on.
We're trying to get you to agree with us live on podcast, but it's not working.
Visually, your gecko is pet only.
If we pressure him
I
enough,
want to use that so bad.
all right. It didn't work with Blizzard. It didn't work with Cypher.
I get
So
more people on Instagram messaging me that don't follow me, asking me to ID their freaking leopard geckos. And guess what?
yeah,
Take my time and I talk to them.
You're so nice. You're so nice. Because I did that at the expo. These people talked to me for like 20 minutes, left, came back to my table with a leopard gecko.
Yeah,
and
and then
was
ask
like,
you what page to buy.
they're like, so what did you say we have to do? And I looked them dead in their face. And I said, you guys went and got another gecko and now you're asking me for the information? They're like, well, yeah. I was like,
yeah.
okay. I just wanted to point that out to you. But anyways, yeah, I was like, I got you. And I told them, but yeah, I was like, go ask them. Go ask the people you just bought it from. Why didn't you talk to them for 20, 30 minutes?
You definitely start the conversation there. Like, you know what you did, right? And I don't think
yeah, I'm a jerk sometimes, so I point it out.
Yeah, I've had that happen a couple times with like breeders, even where they're even friends, and they're like, "Hey, can I ask you 1,000 questions, and then buy these animals that you breed from somebody completely different?" And you're just like,
that's funny.
But no, it is pretty funny. Is that going to happen at the expo tomorrow? Is that what I can expect?
Oh, dude, expect everything.
I don't know, man. I kind of got a weird personality, so I think I might.
Funny that you say the French tips thing. I got a blood tremper eclipse from JMG, and I named her Frenchie because she had like white fingertips, like French nails.
Is that the visual indicator on eclipses? Is the white fingertips? Is that?
I thought that was one of them.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't like eclipse, so.
Me neither. So I work with Cypher, but eclipses and everything. So I still have those projects. But
yeah, fortunately, I haven't seen it pop out. So far, so good.
So I do want to remind you, we're hitting the hour mark. So if you want to keep going, that's cool with us.
That's up for you guys, man.
But just throwing that out there.
Your show.
Nah, dude, it's your show tonight.
So I do have a question.
He says some heads, but not 100%, which is why, like, if you're doing it for your own collection, like you're trying to pick out visual indicators for your own project, yeah, absolutely. Figure out whatever secret sauce you need to do that. But, you have 66% eclipses and you start selling the ones with white fingertips as heads without testing them. Like, I don't think I don't think that's appropriate.
I think that's one thing at expos is don't over give certain information,
Yeah, and like
it's unneeded for certain people.
Put it on the description, and I'm not accusing anybody of doing this. I'm just thinking out loud. But like even in the descriptions of stuff, if somebody's like, "Oh, it's got white tips. It's probably head eclipse." Like, no,
I wouldn't even say that.
Don't try to educate people on that.
Yeah.
We are joking about.
If you get to the point where you're like thinking about that stuff and you're like looking for it, that person that's looking through those animals online, could do it themselves. And like that's at the point where you need to be when you're like, if I was looking for head eclipses, then I could look through and be like, oh, that one might have it because of this feature. But
that's actually a good idea for an episode. We should talk with somebody and debunk all of these like
myths.
Yeah, just like things that people make up all the time, and they talk about them like they're real. It's like head indicators. Like we are just joking about that, so everybody knows that they're not real.
I wouldn't say it's joking. Just
it's not joking, but it's like educating on the subject.
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't use it as like reliable information. It just, there's all sorts of interesting things that we could talk about with the animals that don't pertain to like your the knowledge base you would need to start doing this successfully is not whether you can identify the white tips on an animal as a possible head eclipse. Like by the time you're questioning and thinking about that stuff, that's not.
Yeah,
that's something for later when you're done stuff for a while and you're curious about the intricacies of everything. But like it shouldn't be used as a sales point. Like, it shouldn't be in the description. It's perfect for like what we're doing right now. Discussing about it. That's
and then another one I know, incubation at let's see, So one of the biggest ones out there is that males are brighter because of the hotter temperatures they incubate.
I think that's true.
Yeah,
You do?
I do.
Have you heard the rumor that if you put,
Mostly with albinos,
if obviously females after 3 weeks they're set in stone as TSF, and then if you put them in the male incubator, they'll still be female. Like I recently heard that, and I thought that's been debunked like 4 times that I can think of.
are you sure?
But yeah,
I was about to say I tried it last year. It
It
worked.
works fine.
Like,
I've done
breeders that I trust more than anything have talked about that, and they've said no, it does not work.
it.
Breeders that he
there's no
trusts. Listen.
21 day, 21 days, and it's definitely a female. And also, when you think about that too, like TSF, TSM, those are probabilities. They're likely to happen, but
66%, dude.
Mother Nature has its own say in what you end up producing.
Females are pretty much a guarantee, though, in the female incubator. Like, it's 99%, in my opinion. I'm just telling you. I'm just laying down what I've seen from the eggs that I've hatched. The females are like 99%. Like, I'm going to get females out of there. The male incubator, I will hatch females from.
Yeah, I've had enough animals come out at 75 days, 82 degrees, and they ended up being male.
That's
so
crazy.
It's just one of those things where you've seen it all. You've seen it all.
You just got told by
infamous. My point is the 3-week timeline thing. I think that's I think it's a myth. I don't think it's real.
That's fine. You're welcome to think that.
Do you think it's real?
I just said it multiple times.
Yeah, and then put it into the male incubator, and it's going to be female.
At 21 days, you have a very high probability that if you move it to the male incubator, you are going to get females. Like anything, it's not like I've hatched 0 males out of a female incubator, but it's not even like when I put stuff into a male incubator and I want to hatch males, I'll put like 6 in there.
Yeah,
because I want to make sure I hit a male because I know there's. I'm gonna, in my opinion, it's something like 70%.
Right. I think you're not hitting my question. Though. My question isn't about that. My question is this: if you put it in the female incubator for 3 weeks,
yes,
then you move it to the male incubator.
Yes.
1, it's guaranteed to be female, and 2, it's going to be brighter.
Yes.
No.
I stand by both of those statements. Yeah. Yeah, I'll stand by that.
They color up, bro.
You don't have to believe it. And you might have a different experience. I feel like in the 5 years or 5 seasons, whatever it's been, I feel like that's something I can confirm.
I mean, that is true, though, dude. A lot of this is based off experience. We all do the same thing, but we all don't do the same thing. You know what I mean? So we don't experience the same stuff.
Yeah. I've had too many breeders that I trust wholeheartedly debunk it. And it's... I've also haven't experienced it myself.
I guess people
trying
have to breed more leopard geckos to find for themselves now.
I breed more leopard geckos than anybody in this conversation right now.
No, you don't, dude. You just said you barely had anything for the show.
You're just doing your first show tomorrow.
Not any left. It's my first one. Yeah, you're right.
You're good at making AI images with multiple fingers.
So this year I'm going to be moving as many females as I want.
Okay.
At 3 weeks, we're going to go with 21 days. And I'm going to put down how many I do, how many I move.
Yeah, put the data, dude. Data speaks.
Yeah. The only thing that I can't prove,
I will say, I'm not bringing papers
is whether or not they're brighter. I could compare them to some of their sisters, I suppose.
Yeah, it's not. It's definitely there. Because the reason that I even decided to attempt moving eggs was, and I don't really do it that much. Like I might do it for Tremper albinos. That's about it. It was like the males were definitely better looking than the girls, like every time.
Yeah.
And so I started messing around with just the stuff that would hatch out as Tremper and doing it, and I felt like they were brighter.
That's true of everything in nature, with the exception of humans. Like males are typically brighter, more colorful. They have, beta fish, male beta fish, birds.
I was about to say,
they're
dude,
just all brighter and more colorful.
Yeah, and that might be true, but I would argue no, just because if you look at all most of the other line bred stuff, you see nice ones of both. It's never. I don't think males are particularly better looking in general.
Well, and to your point too, leopard geckos do morph and move around very quickly. So you make a good point there. But take Riys, for example.
That's right.
Males are superior. Take Riys, for example. There you go.
Dude is farting in the wind over there.
All right, guys. That is our hour. Josiah, dude, I wanted to thank you for agreeing to come on and spend time with us.
Anytime.
If you guys don't know, Josiah typically does go and host the Daytona show. So if you can, get out there and meet up with him. I did in 2023, and I don't regret it.
Yeah, just don't go to auction with him because he'll bail on you.
Later.
Oh, is that right?
Those tires.
You did that to Riys, bro?
He'll hype you up, be like, you have to go. Everybody go.
You have to go. Yeah, I said you.
If anything, you have to do that.
That room's hot.
I go there, I'm looking, scouring. I'm like, where's Josiah? Never saw him, dude.
I was beat, brother.
I was getting outbid by some wholesale flipper.
I'm sorry. I took care. I should have taken care of you enough earlier, though. Should have been.
No, it's all good. My boy Bayside took care of me. So
I was gonna say, like, yeah, Bayside will be there with you.
I hope you're good. I'm sorry, dude.
I was dead. When I went,
dude.
Didn't bail on
we went back to the room to change and to go back over, and we both got in there, and we just like sat on the.
That's where you messed up.
Little lanai thing over the ocean, and like we're just sitting there, and I'm like, I am so tired. Like we didn't even go get dinner or anything.
That's so funny, dude.
DoorDash. But no, when I went, he stuck around and hung out with me, so I just want to throw that out there, Riys. But
so cool, dude.
I know, brother. I know, man. So
we're all going this year then, right? We're all gonna
we're all gonna hang out. I'll be nicer.
Yeah,
maybe.
I need to make my way back down there. One of these days, I want to vend that show. That'd be cool.
You're gonna go this year, though, right?
I'm hoping so.
Yeah, he is. We're gonna go together.
Well, I'm closer to Tinley now than I am. But then again, when I went there before, I was in Arizona, so I was the furthest away I almost could be. Right?
You're just making stuff up.
Yeah. Not to go. It'll depend on my season, brother. I'm gonna be doing some of the major cities around Missouri, St. Louis, Kansas City, and then I'm gonna try to tap into other states. You know, tomorrow I get my feet wet. We'll see what's up. Watch, I hate it, and I refuse to do another one. That'd be so funny.
Lord, look at you! Don't be a cowardly dog.
Riys did say he was going to come up and do it with me, and then he didn't show. So
I got bookings, dude. I'm sorry, I got to work.
You got a job?
Oh yeah, birthday parties.
I got you, brother. If you are not subscribed to our channel, please go subscribe to our channel and show Josiah some love by liking this video. Share it. There's been a little bit of back and forth on here. Obviously, we talked a little bit earlier about head percentages and things like that. And then, I don't know, the guys brought up some random weird stuff that's not true. And I feel like I won that argument, though. What do you guys think?
I think you guys should stay tuned for next week.
I think you're the host. You should set up.
We'll have a new host. Josiah will be taking over for Wildcard next season.
I'll gas up the guests like nobody's business. No, I'm nothing like Joe.
Oh, God. And for everybody who showed up and hung out with us, thank you for your comments. Thank you for taking the time to watch. And we will see you again next week. Josiah,
thank you.
Hang tight, guys.
It was good.
Yeah.